Okay, remember that they're changing my voice. I can tell you with certainty that these incidents are connected. People who work for the government have told me that they're connected. They're also connected to the triple homicide that happened here recently in San Jose, in the San Jose area. I live right next to San Jose and Morgan Hill. So if you look at the people on the news who were at the press conferences in both cases, they look like they're related, right? The black guys look very similar. The shorter sort of Jewish gentlemen or white-skinned gentlemen, white gentlemen, whatever race they are, they look similar. And there were actually two people, according to one report, found hanging from trees in Mississippi within 24 hours. So, do you think it's a coincidence that 3 people were killed in San Jose by where I live, and the suspect also did another shooting in the past at Martin Luther King Library in downtown San Jose? I've given speeches there. My father used to work down. We used to have an office down there, what have you. Not a coincidence. And told these 3 shootings in Pennsylvania, and I have family history in Pennsylvania. And that's a story for another day. I'll put it in the comments if I remember. They filmed me, so it's kind of hard to talk here. That's not a coincidence. I urge people to remain calm and think things through carefully. The next video I'm going to make after this is going to be very important. This all happened close to a deadline that I gave the governing class and the inhabitants of the earth. For those of you who know, I'm the top martial artist ever possible. Martial is marital scramble, and I am the top martial artist, which to the most educated people who interpret the Bible makes me the Christos, the anointed. And as this is the end, it makes me the top martial artist in the end of the Bible. The heavenly warrior defeats the beast, Revelation 19, Exodus 15:3. The Lord is the warrior, the Lord is his name. Proverbs 34 is key here. Proverbs 18 connects to, Psalm 18 connects to Psalm 19 to spell out for you that the champion is the bridegroom, the Son of God, symbolized by the Son, Christ. Also see Isaiah 30, verses 30 through end. And there's a lot of other scriptures that prove that I am who I say that I am. Diversity. The word delta is a play on words for at deal. And T lead. The T is the feminine suffix. Because these people are like frat people, right? They're effeminate. They're sissy. Think about MAGA. It's a play on words for M, and the second word is gay. Think about the left and the LGBT movements and the LGBT guys on the right who call themselves the A guys, because they like to pretend that they're alphas. Think about Greek societies. The Greeks were a very homosexual culture to a large degree. Okay, so you have the story of Corey Reed, and I've been recently reading Ezekiel, where it talks about things that are connected to the reed in a certain way, okay, and it connects it to Egypt. Now, Trey Reed was found near the pickleball courts, which goes back to the deadline, right? They're in a pickle, in a sense, I'm in a pickle, and ball is the main enemy of God in the Bible. And so they want to kind of, they're trying to lead me. And if I was to let them do that, I'd betray God. I'd never do that. But on top of that, all these people who were killed would have been killed for the enemy to benefit from their murders, which would never occur, mind you. Even if they were to kill everyone on the planet, I wouldn't budge. But it's important to note that these occultists have been killing millions and millions and millions of people in various ways that are connected to the cult long before my flesh was born in this world. The other guy who was killed in Vicksburg, or whatever it is in Mississippi, a different part, was a homeless person. I talk about homelessness all the time, or he died under suspicious circumstances, right? Also hanging from a tree. His name was Zucatus, right? Zucat is. And I've been talking about the cat many, many times, right? The cheat means he cat. That's going to be the cheat. The word cheat is he cat scrambled, and see heat and seat. and sihiat. And, the word God is the word dog spelled backwards. Okay, and prophet is a play on words for prophet. And that goes back to, the leopard society, martial artists in Africa. It goes back to Dionysus riding the panther/leopard. It goes back to Hades and his three dogs. Hera is associated with the peacock and the leopard. Okay, Zeus is associated with bulls and the eagle of Rome, eagle of Zeus, eagle of Babylon. You see that in Ezekiel as well. There's a lot of connections there, but I don't want to confuse you too much because this connects to a lot of things, and I'm trying to make sure you understand that this stuff is real. What is happening here is real. These things are connected. There's a reason you see a lot of vehicles, at least here in California, that are police vehicles that are tinted out, because law enforcement has kind of merged with, you might say the deep state, but it's merged with occultists more than ever. Recently, FBI agent, what's this guy's name? He was interviewed by Vlad. It's like Scott Payne or something like this, right? He talked about how there's this white supremacist group, and the guy who founded it used to work for the Army and then the Justice Department, and he perhaps worked for the FBI, is what he was told, and he moved to Russia, and he's been orchestrating these attacks, which connects a lot of the, not these particular attacks per se, but a lot of attacks. There's a lot of white supremacist organizations with military training who are people that are connected to the military, and by default to the CIA, because the CIA is military intelligence and they're central intelligence agency. I know a lot of people don't want this to be said, but I put God first. I can go on and on about this, but I'm going to make a very important video that's more important than this is my next video. Please subscribe. Again, the word Christ has the word hits scrambled in, right? CR hits who you are, right? I am who I am. Exodus 3:14, how God told Moses to explain why he's chosen to the Israelites, is I am who I am. And in Ezekiel, it talks about God striking down the rebellious Jews and the rebellious people in the world. And a lot of what's going on is people who don't want to admit that the world is going to hell, and there's going to be a new heaven and a new earth in the spiritual realm, that they're throwing fits, right? If you look at the, I'm going to connect this in the next video to the parking garage. There's a lot of connections there. The garage is a play on words for gay rage, and parking, right, is a play on words for rape king, right? And par, king, up to par, right? Spar and par, rhyme and reason. Masonic wordplay, gospel, go, spell. In the beginning was the word, right? The word, the spoken word, the written word. The spirit is the word, the spirit of God. People who believe in magic spells and the power of words are very much involved in these things. Chaos magic guys, chaos psychology, dark psychology. You see that in the white supremacist groups as well. To make a long story short, these kind of extremist groups there's layers of kind of deniability, right? So first they want to first they want to blame the individual, then they blame the white supremacist group they're a part of, if that. So it causes them to scramble to avoid the blame. And they'll blame, maybe local law enforcement collaborating with them. Then they'll blame the intelligence apparatus. Maybe they'll blame Russia, so on and so forth. As you get to the top of the pyramid, you find these rich white Jew and LGBT elitists. Okay, and somewhere under them, some kind of token minority groups. That's how things are structured. I've studied this for a long time. I'm the son of two doctors, one a brain surgeon. I have a college degree. I've studied this thing for a long time. I'm a very logical person. I deal in the facts and reason and evidence. That's what I talk about, right? I'm not some conspiracy theorist. These are the facts here. And you might think that I'm not putting it together correctly. That's a very foolish mistake, okay? I'm an expert at putting this thing together, partially because people who work for the government, who harass me, they tell me some of this stuff themselves, and they prove in various ways that their information is sound. However, sometimes they throw me a curveball, but in this case, you can bet your bottom dollar that I'm right. And they do things like trying to get you to doubt me to some degree, because they worship the devil. They're Luciferians who try to make certain types of white people, certain types of Jews, certain types of LGBT people seem magically superior, right? Witchcraft, switchcraft. They want to make it seem like their crafts, their ways, and their paths are magically number one. Thank you.